Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to another episode 16. Seyi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's been a while since we dropped an episode.
Life has been
Oh
life
yeah,
in a little.
life has been lifing. Um, yeah, so we don't really have a lot of time today, guys. Trust everyone is doing well. We'll just get right into it. Starting with the NFL, of course. Divisional rounds, divisional round of the playoffs. We'll start with the Chiefs defeating the Texans 23-14 to advance to the AFC Championship game. Yimika, will let you start us off before I get into my rant.
I mean, I didn't watch the game because it was I was out when the game was on, but I saw the highlights and yeah, I think it was clear that the Chiefs needs to make it to the Super Bowl for the NFL to make financial sense. So it was clearly a game that the Texans should have won, based on how they played and based on just the whole setup of the game. But I will actually let you go ahead and do your rants because I think the details is where it's clear that it's definitely a narrative that's being pushed by the NFL.
Okay. Um. So I guess I want to just bring out some interesting, uh, let's say, things that came out after the game. So the Texans are the first team in the NFL postseason history to outgain their opponents by 100 yards, have zero turnovers, and lose. Prior to that, teams were 49 and 0 in such games. Fantastic. Uh, we don't really have all the videos to show you guys, but I'm pretty sure if you go on Twitter X and you just search Chiefs versus Texans, you see a lot of videos, just interesting calls, interesting non-calls as well, um, from the game yesterday. Like, I was talking to Yimika yesterday, guys, and like I said this thing, right? Like, at what point, at what point is does it become too many occurrences of something to be called coincidence? Like, it can't be coincidence every time. Like, and yes, I know, like, there's the quote unquote Jordan rule, right? Where Mahomes is like the star player, best quarterback. Okay, great. You can't touch him. But come on, come on, come on. Like, he's a really good player, but I think some of these things just, I don't know, they diminish his value in my eyes. Like, Mahomes yesterday, 16 of 25, a measly 177 yards passing, got sacked 3 times, quarterback rating 66.3 on the scale of 100. Like, it wasn't great, but they won. Yes, the Chiefs always find a way to win. And yes, the Texans tried, but okay, the refs had their own part to play, but I also feel like the Texans didn't exactly play a perfect game. And yeah, you know, you can put some of it down to them just like tapping out at some point towards the end of the game. Like, I just felt like they were deflated. And I want to put some of that down to their kicker. Yeah. He missed a field goal. They scored a touchdown, and he missed that PAT that would have essentially tied the game. Like, because I mean, whether you like it or not, 13-12 means you are behind, right? And you need to score. If the game ends that way, the Chiefs win the game, right? So I don't know. I think just little things like that, just you know, kind of affected the
But
morale of the players.
I think what you said in terms of the deflation of the Texans is very true. And like you said, some of the highlights that you would find on X were situations where Texans would get a stop on third down, and there would be a flag for like roughing the passer. There would
Bruh,
be a flag
they just keep
for
the drive going. Like
holding,
refs are essentially sustaining the drives for them. Like
and that's one of the toughest things for a defense, because when you get a three and out and you're feeling like, hey, like the offense is going to take over, they're going to allow you to rest and things like that, for
mhm,
you to then find out it's for like very weak calls. I think there was one roughing the passer where Mahomes slid, and it was clear like it was a late slide, and even the
mhm.
contact was more on the Texans players, on themselves rather than at Mahomes. It's
Bro,
still
Troy Aikman in the broadcast was like, "Oh no!" Like he couldn't believe it. Like shout out to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, by the way. Like
I
they
think
really good broadcasting.
there was also a situation where Mahomes was escaping, and then his O line clearly held the D line, no flag. So
Brother,
they were
this
just
you know the guy now. You know him. I've ranted about that guy too much on this show for you not to know him. Jawan Taylor, number 74. Like is insane.
hip drop against the Texans. Just again, it cleared, like we could pull up at least 10 different videos where it was clearly pro calls for the Chiefs. And like you said, it's not great for the footballing, um, just the quality of football and the integrity of the sport. I think what the NFL is definitely trying to do is have that narrative of, the Chiefs are this three-peat team. They have this ultimate superstar lady who is with them, Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelsey. Every single time she's getting FaceTime, NFL is breaking
Yeah.
records in terms of like viewership numbers. So
Caitlin
it's
Clark
it's
was
all
there with
part
her
of,
yesterday.
exactly. So more celebrities plus her. It's like a situation of they need this visibility to increase the revenue, the popularity of the NFL. Even though NFL is by far the most popular um, league in the US, they just use this added momentum to continue to stoke the fire and make sure that they're
Yep.
always talked about, always relevant. And Mahomes, even to some certain degree, knows that this is what he's like. He has this extra ability, or this third man, or I mean 13th man, where it's like, you know, flopping, doing things where he's trying to induce rest to call flags or throw flags. And it's like at some point this team will be found. I really believe like between the Bills or the Ravens, those guys are going to come with a certain level of, I wouldn't call it like, just like they'll play a clean game and it will force the Chiefs to actually win playing football. So what that looks like, I don't know exactly, but I just feel like everybody knows that when it comes to tackling Mahomes, when it comes to um, being held and things like that, they're just going to need to be a little bit more intelligent to play the Chiefs, because there's clearly a bias towards them. But again, good win for the Chiefs. We all knew that they were going to at least get to the AFC Championship. This is where
Yep.
their playoff run really starts. So we'll see what happens. The winner between the Ravens and the Bills, which is supposed to play later on today.
Yeah. So that's Sunday night. Yeah. Sunday night football today.
Yeah,
6:30 Eastern. Yeah.
pretty late for my time. 12, I think 11:30. Um,
Yeah.
GMT.
I guess we just move on to the other divisional
Actual
game.
really good game.
Yeah. Uh in what I'll say to some was a shocking upset. The Commanders defeated the Washington Commanders rather defeated the Detroit Lions 45-31 to advance to the NFC Championship game. You can, do you want to start or I go first?
Now I'll let you go first.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So for me, I don't even know where to start, but I think the first thing to do is praise um Jayden Daniels because bro, this guy's a rookie and he played a clean game yesterday. Like he didn't take a sack, he didn't take a single sack, and they were bruh. Like Aaron
Or an
Glenn was
interception.
sorry.
Or an interception.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't throw a pick, he didn't get sacked, and they were blitzing this guy like on almost every snap. On almost every snap, they were blitzing Jayden Daniels, and yeah, 22 of 31 for 299 yards passing, and he had another 51 yards rushing. So yeah, just played a
Doing
very
it all.
clean game yesterday, and yeah, shout out to him. Um, for Detroit, I would say um their next man up policy. Um, they
They ran
basically
out of the next
they
man.
ran out of next man basically because I think like what two snaps into the game, their outside corner suffered a very bad looking elbow injury. Like yeah, it wasn't nice to see. And yeah, Brian Branch kept like going in and out because he was dealing with something like just yeah. We knew against the Commanders they would need their offense to almost score on every possession because it wasn't going to be easy for their defense against the Commanders and their offense. Like
I mean the
they
Lions.
have they have dangerous receivers that because defenses are aware of the threat of Jayden Daniels' mobility, right? And they also have a good running back in Austin Eckler, right? So I don't know. Like you could just tell their defense not being 100%, they were going to struggle, right? And it did not help that they turned the ball over 5 times on offense. Jared Goff, 3 interceptions, including one pick six. There was a pick by Jameson Williams on one of their 3 plays, and then the Jared Goff fumble in the first half. Like, just, bruh, that's about. I wouldn't say it's the worst I've seen the Lions offense play because there was a game this season where Goff threw 5 interceptions. So, yeah, they've definitely had their moments, right? But I don't know. They still scored 31 points yesterday, but man, their defense let in 45. So
Yeah, so my thing about the defense wasn't less about the personnel. I think I took it more about the play calling. And ultimately, yes, the play calling has been consistently aggressive. They typically blitz on most plays, and they are confident that their secondary players can match up one on one and win those battles. But again, part of the praise for Jayden Daniels was his reads. Um, his offensive
yep,
coordinator, and I might be butchering his
Cliff
name.
Kingsbury. I'll help you.
Yes,
Cliff Kingsbury.
he had these play options, like 3 play options. So in essence, they'll call it play. The play could either be a run, it could be it could be running back run, it could be a quarterback run, or it could be a pass. And
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, his reads on most of these situations, I think the Terry McLaurin touchdown was one of those where he saw that there was a 2 against 3 situation, quickly
Yep.
threw the ball
On
out
the
to
left.
them. The 2 wide receivers, nice block. McCollin just went through the middle, and then it was a one-on-one with their top safety, single safety, Joseph. He outran him,
Joseph. His
was
angle was
physical with
bad.
a little.
His angle was bad. on that.
Yeah, but still, he had a good stiff arm on him and then outran him, scored the touchdown when it was kind of a situation where the Lions were looking to build back momentum. So I think Daniels just clearly showed that he's progressed consistently, and um, it's not just from running the ball or making throws. His pace on his throws, his decision making, his touch with his throws. I mean, all the touchdowns and the drive plays. I mean, the plays where they went down the field just driving the ball was a lot of him just reading the field and making the right passes. I mean, touch wise, there was literally one play where I think there's number two was their receiver had his hand covered by Joseph, and he still had he just put his hand up, and that ball just sunk in there like perfect timing, like just in sync. And when you see the ball come out of Jayden Daniels, there's a rip to it, but there's also a flick for that touch. That touch is where, like, I feel like as a quarterback, he's really separated himself as a rookie versus, what you would expect from a more established quarterback. And my whole hope and prayer for him, even though like he's one of our rival quarterbacks in my division, the Eagles, I feel like
NFC
he he
East.
can't he can't have a sophomore year slump. He has to continue to progress. And that's one of the things that he has, the cold, calm demeanor, someone who is always looking to work and improve on him. I'm hoping he's not going to start a podcast like CJ Strauss, but focus on actually just improving and being better. His ability to read defenses is unreal. And that's what Brady kept on mentioning about him. Like, ability to see things. Yes, the Lions had some fantastic trick plays. Their offensive coordinator is a genius. Like, he'll definitely be an NFL quarterback coach, and he'll do pretty well. But when you have a
Mhm.
guy who is that guy, who you can say, no, you go out there, tell me what is the best situation based on what you're seeing, and he can assess it quickly and make those decisions quickly. Yeah, those are stars in the making, and I feel like Jayden Daniel has shown himself as one this whole season. And yeah, I think the road ends here in this NFC Championship game because I believe it's going to be against the Philadelphia Eagles, God willing. But still a good showing for a young black quarterback, like just doing a lot of the things that typically white quarterbacks are praised for. Their ability to read, their ability to have touch, their ability to dissect defenses. He's done that beyond even my own quarterback. But thankfully, we have a defense unlike no other, and our O line is something crazy that we'll see. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
I don't
he
want
is
to.
he's just like is like his story is for me similar to like how people saw Lamar like when he was coming into the league, like
But I think he's had a
more
better
more
rookie.
running than passing, and everybody's so surprised. Oh wow, so this guy can really like do this as well.
No,
Like
no, 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 bro.
I
Lamar
don't
took
know.
like 2, 3 seasons before he started showing his passing. This guy's shown it day one. And again, it's that touch, the ability to like have the quick release outside of the pocket, but it not just be like just power. It's power, it's quick velocity, but accuracy and touch. But yeah, we'll see how he progresses in the NFC Championship game. Very much a shocker for the Commanders. I know the whole of Washington D.C., Maryland, Virginia area is going
Bruh.
crazy. They've never
Anyway,
seen this in their life.
so with their win now, um it's their first NFC championship game since 1991, which is about what, I don't know how many years. Um,
It's like
well,
30,
long story short,
38,
long story short, um, with Washington's win, every NFC team
37.
other than the Dallas Cowboys will have now played in a conference championship game going back to 1996, which is
Yeah,
about
that,
30
that that
years.
conference is literally like, I think it's funny every single time it has the flip flop of the most underperforming and the highest, because there was a season where teams came out of that league to the playoffs. Like
Sorry,
it's
Cowboys
really
fans. We had to shit on you guys. Sorry.
it's really one of the most competitive divisions, and yeah, we'll continue to see them dominate because the way the Commanders are built for the next 10 years, Jayden Daniel is going to be something special over there. The Eagles are going
And
to continue doing what they're doing.
franchise QB for sure. And yes, this is just free advice to any college quarterbacks. Please stay in school. You know, play
Yeah, he
games.
had a journey.
Get a lot of reps before you make the jump to the NFL. Like, I
I think he
mean, we're not
played.
saying you guys are not talented, but I don't know. Like, you can clearly see that like he doesn't play like someone who is phased by any occasion, and it's similar to CJ Stroud, right? CJ Stroud too also like is someone who played a lot of games in college. So I don't know. I think people should just try to play as many games as they can in college before making the jump to the NFL.
Yeah,
Uh
he played for Arizona State.
yeah,
Um,
before moving to LSU. He got his undergrad before like he did grad school in LSU.
yeah, bro, I think he played for like two college teams before he actually played for LSU. But the point I'm just trying to make is that he took his time. He wasn't trying to get to the NFL because now he's going to secure the bag. He's going to
Yeah.
secure the second level of bags.
So this is the
Um,
NFL playoff picture essentially. We have Yimika's boys facing the Rams in kickoff is expected about 20 minutes from now, and Baltimore against the Bills later on in the evening. So um, yeah, we'll essentially see how those games go. And yeah, I think we'll just quickly touch college football playoffs. Yeah, the finals of the first 12 team college football playoff will be tomorrow, and it will be between Ohio State Buckeyes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Yeah, we essentially want to just know who Yimika picks to win the Nazi. And then I'll tell you guys mine. Yimika, who do you pick?
I think Ohio State. But again, I would be very shocked if Notre Dame wins, and I think their coach is also being touted for a tap up in the NFL, so it would be good for him. One of the first um, black head coaches to make it to college player final. So I wouldn't mind that narrative.
Is it hit the first?
Yeah, that's why I said one of the first. So I guess the first. Yeah, that was dumb.
I don't think anyone has won it. So I mean, it would be nice to see a black guy win. But yeah, sorry, I'm black, but I like both QBs. I like both teams, but I really like Will Howard in Ohio State, and yeah, I I pick Ohio State to win. I wish I would go
Yeah, we're saying
against
the
Yimika.
same thing.
I wish Yimika was going to pick Notre Dame, so I'll be able to
Mm,
pick Ohio
there's
State
no,
and be
I
the one
mean,
to win the
Ohio
beef. But
State is definitely the more.
not
I
not
mean,
to
Notre
say
Dame has
not to say Notre Dame is a bad team. I mean, they're a really good team, and they've shown a lot of togetherness and fighting spirit to get to this point. But Ohio State
talent wise,
seems
talent
the
wise. Yeah,
more battle tested team, and man,
they've gone through. I think both of these two teams have gone through the toughest part road to get to the player final. If you look at
yeah,
it,
they both
so
started from
it's
the first round.
not even that. Like the teams they played. So State playing Oregon, top ranked, and then
Yeah,
Notre Dame playing Georgia, second ranked. Like those are the tougher games. Then come and still play the fourth ranked, and then come and still play the third ranked. So they have gone
okay.
through everybody who was better than them and shown that they are better than them. So they're well deserving to be in the final. And regardless of if anybody wins or whoever who wins, like it's really been an impressive run for both of them. So both teams should definitely be proud of what they've been able to accomplish this year.
Yeah, and yeah, last but not least, we go to Premier League. So this week,
2 weeks
two sets
since
of games essentially during the course of the week.
midweek, and then
Uh,
this weekend, just games wrapped up.
yep. So um, we start with Forest holding Liverpool to a 1-1 draw. David, sorry, West Ham's new coach, Graham Potter, in his first game beats Fulham 3-2. Chelsea blew a 2-0 lead, I think, to draw 2-2 against Bournemouth. City drew 2-2 against Brentford. Villa beat Everton 1-0. Crystal Palace beat Leicester 2-0. Newcastle beat Wolves 3-0. Arsenal beat Spurs in North London Derby um, 2-1. Brighton beat Ipswich 2-0. And Ahmad beat Southampton 3-1. Round, round off that set of games. Um, yeah, the games from this weekend, Newcastle suffered a shocking 4-1. Will I say shocking? Well, embarrassing 4-1 defeat at home to Bournemouth. Justin Kluivert scored a hat trick and assisted the fourth goal. Yeah, just what a game. People who own Justin Kluivert on FPL, kudos. Um,
Liverpool
Darwin
stole it
Nunes, Darwin
in
Nunes
the
scored two
90th
late goals
minute.
to rescue a 2-0 win for Newcastle. Sorry, for Liverpool against Brentford. Fulham beat Leicester 2-0. Man,
Rude is
Leicester.
getting a rude awakening to run
Man,
being a manager
like
in the Prem.
Rude just the collect, my bro. He just the collect. Um, Palace beats West Ham 2-0. Arsenal couldn't hold
Drop,
on and essentially
drop
dropped
two,
2 points at home
two
against Aston
from a
Villa.
2 game, 2 goal lead. 2 goal lead.
Bruh, bruh, bruh. I mean, I was very happy when Harvey scored, but we'll come back to that. Forest held on to beat Southampton 3-2. Yeah, Ramsdale. Ramsdale. Man. Manchester United suffered an embarrassing 3-1 loss at Old Trafford against Brighton, confirming their sixth defeat to Brighton in 7 games. Yeah, this was the week where we lost a legend of the club, Dennis Law, and there were some activities before the game, a lot of legends in the house. It did not even inspire these guys to just, man. We'll get to that. We'll get to
You think
that.
they're playing for legends?
Ever, it's lack of shame, really, at this point. Like, it's just shamelessness. Everton, bruh, they were slapping up Spurs 3-0 at halftime. Like, Spurs managed to score 2 goals. But yeah, couldn't come back. Good win for Moisey, I think. I don't know
Yeah,
if he has taken over yet. Has he taken over yet?
yeah.
Uh yeah, so good win Everton against
Spurs is
Spurs. Like
looking
at this,
shaky. I
like
don't know
at
what's
some
going to happen
point
with their
they're going
coach.
to have to fire Postecoglou, right? But yeah. City slapped up Kieran McKenna and Ipswich 6-0. Yeah, I didn't watch any of
Pep
that.
needed a bounce after that his tough week he's just had, so
Bruh. Like divorce is not easy, but
he can focus on
we
rebuilding Man
wish him all the
City.
best. We wish him all the best. Chelsea will round off the week against Wolves tomorrow. And yeah, at this point, we'll just leave the floor open for Arsenal and United rants, essentially. Like, uh, I'll start with Arsenal. So after the FA Cup game,
Why are we starting with Arsenal? No, let's start with Man
because
U.
because I'm starting with Arsenal. Um, After the FA Cup game, between Arsenal and United, where United managed to win that game on penalties. Yimika said he was done with football essentially. Uh, but
with a man down. Just don't forget to add that.
yeah, man down, playing 10 against 12 because Andy Madley was just on one that day. Like, we all knew he had fly Emirates under his referee's shirt. Like,
I mean, the penalty wasn't a penalty, but yes, they missed it and they still couldn't
bro, the
score.
red card was a red card. Like, nobody's complaining about that. But man, so many calls. I think at the end of the first half, United 15 fouls, Arsenal just 4 fouls. What are we doing here, please? Like, anyway,
But still, get your point. Thank you.
I don't know. A lot of noise has been made about Kai Havertz, and when he scored yesterday, yeah, I was really just like giving it to one of my friends as an Arsenal fan. Like, see, he scored. You guys are winning to me. What have you been ranting about? Because I mean, when I see you guys complain about your strikers, I just think about United situation, and I have Zexi and Hoylund to think about. Like, I mean, those guys don't really inspire me with confidence either. But I just think, like, I thought it was blown out of proportion, but I actually started to watch the game yesterday, and yeah, uh, Kai Havertz unfortunately was the guy who did the handball for them to cancel the what would have been the winning goal. Nice shots from Merino. He deflected. Havertz deflected with his hand, and yeah, goal was disallowed. So you guys need a striker. Long story short. Well, yeah, I'll let you
Yeah,
give us more in-depth Arsenal
I,
yans.
I don't disagree with the need for a striker. I don't think that's the issue that's
It's not the end all and be all, but
yeah, I think what really and truly is the disappointment for most Arsenal fans is going into this season. We had run Man City to the last game of the last day of the league, and the whole thought was that there were just a few missing pieces that we needed to add to bolster that team and make it better. The
mm,
club decides to sign Jorginho for an extra, extend his contract, and it was clear that they needed midfielder reinforcement. So they let guys like Smith Lowe leave. They let guys like Vieira leave. They let guys like a lot of all these are young players in Ketia and things like that. But there was no plan to bring in reinforcement from an attacking perspective. And I feel like Kai has borne the brunt of the issues because our star man is now hurt. So there's nobody to have as much output.
yeah,
When Saka is on the pitch, like Kai is more effective because there's a lot of attention put on Saka, but now it's very easy to focus on Kai because guys like Martinelli and Trossard are really not threats. They're spontaneous in their ability to sort of come up. Martinelli scored again. Trossard scored against the Tottenham game, but from a consistent output perspective, these guys are not people who you can rely on to goal and assist every single game. So they're now looking at who is the center forward and why is he not scoring and why isn't he affecting the game. And I think
yeah,
from a overall perspective, Kai brings so much. He brings the pressure, he brings the ability to keep the team connected, and he's also someone that doesn't lose possession a lot. Um, so there are positives, but I feel like he's someone that works better with a forward in front of him, where he can be that sort of early breaking midfielder, early supported midfielder, and provide more stretching runs. Or even someone who can change up the style of play if we're looking to just mix things up.
yeah,
Jesus is out injured. There's just clearly a need for more attacking threats and options. And that wasn't addressed in the summer. Now, when January, all we're hearing is it's a tough window, but we need to make additions. It's like, what are you guys telling us? Like, it was clear and evident that this was an issue that we needed to focus on, but we didn't. So why are we now trying to just say it in the last moment? Point being is this season we're not going to be able to win the Premier League, even though it was supposed to be a season where we did it. And I think Arsenal fans are just frustrated about being so close and being just almost there, but it's clear that we're not there. We're not there. And it's Arteta has been blamed, Kai Havertz has been blamed, Odegaard has been blamed, but I think these guys generally needed more support. And I don't know who is supposed to be responsible for it, whether it's the ownership of the club, whether it's the Edu who was our footballing director. But it's clear there's need for more quality in this team, and if we don't get that, we're not going to win. Liverpool has gotten that, and they're showing that they can continue to progress, and that's why they're ahead. So yeah, I'm done with Arsenal for this season. Like even if they end up winning the league, like it's not going to be something that I look to celebrate because it has been more headache than it has been enjoyable. So it's just sad. It's just sad because this team that they've built, how much longer do they have together? Like a lot of these guys are going to start questioning why should they commit more of their young prime years to a club that doesn't seem like they want to commit the same way. I mean, tell me how Man City is signing players for like 100 million when they have pending. Um,
250, 250,
yeah,
250, 200 thereabouts.
I don't know, and it just for me, it just seems like there's always an excuse as to why we can't be great when everybody has put things they've invested. Like Arsenal is one of the teams with the highest season ticket. Can't get tickets here in Arsenal at all. Like it's just so difficult to get. So
London
they
Club.
they are being backed by the fans, and the fans are expecting the output on the pitch, and they're not getting it. So there's frustration, and there's always going to be somebody who's the focal point, and Kai has just unfortunately been that guy.
Yeah, there always has to be a victim. But yeah, I mean, fair points, fair points, fair points. I feel your pain. I feel your
No,
pain.
there's no need to feel my pain, bro.
But on the
I'm
flip
done.
side of it, if we focus on, if we talk about United for a sec, like, bruh, if you guys are, if you guys are in pain, then I must be in a coma,
But bro,
bro,
like what
bro,
you what
bro.
what you're going through is history. You're thinking about history. Like you guys haven't even shown any type of consistency of
Bro,
play to
I'm not
even
like what's
be
history? Yeah,
expecting.
like we are like to me, I feel like United is I feel like United is at the start of a rebuild. Like he essentially hit reset
Yeah,
by
this the
firing
5 years ago
Ten
when we
Hag,
got,
hiring Amorim, and then like doing away with Dan Ashworth. Like just okay, this
even though
is
he
the
was part
direction
of
we
the
are going
rebuild.
in now. Sorry?
Even though he was
Yeah, he was
apparently part of the
supposed he was
rebuild.
supposed to be, but I mean, turns out, yeah, that that in itself was quite a costly error because the person who is now, taking up part of the responsibilities that Ashworth left behind is Jason Wilcox, and he was at the club last season essentially, or maybe like before the whole summer and everything, like, and his recommendation was to fire Ten Hag, right? Like, regardless of the FA Cup final result, and yeah, he was essentially overruled. And I mean, we know how that whole thing went, and like, Ashworth like publicly denying being involved in that decision, blah blah blah, like rubbed what's his name, Jim Radcliffe the wrong way, and yeah, he's fired today. So yes, United. I see something that fans keep doing, and I don't know, like it just kind of irritates me. Like we act like we are above suffering, like we are this divine club that should never like have to go through what we are currently going through. And the truth is, if you don't want, like, if you try to just scrape by, like I see people calling for Amorim change the system, just like giving examples of people like Jose Ferguson saying, "Oh, those guys would have adjusted to the players that they have," blah blah blah. Like, okay, even if you manage to get those wins now, like you are still going to suffer in future, right? you might as well start it now. Like, this is the direction your club has said they are going in. Like, I don't know about a lot of people, but I actually follow like the youth level teams, right? Not down to like under 14s and whatnot, but like I follow under 21s and the like under 18s, right? And those guys have actually now started playing this 3-4-3 system. So I'm pretty sure sooner rather than later, we'll start to see some of those guys make the jump if they feel they are good enough, right? And like this is what we've said we are going to do. Like, yes, it's not great, right? You should have probably made this change in the summer and not right in the middle of the season. Yes, that is on Ineos. Yes, they messed up, but who is perfect? Like, the problem will be when you realize you've made a mistake and you try to double down and not fix the mistake you've made or fix the problem that you are clearly seeing, right? And I don't know, like United players are just very comfortable playing on the counter. Like the players we have at the moment, like that is their comfort zone. That is what they enjoy doing. It seems like that is all they can do because when we play the bigger teams, you see how it is. You get a nice result against Liverpool. Everybody's happy. You know, like they rally together, manage to get that FA Cup win against Arsenal. They beat City. Like teams that want to have the ball, and United will just like obviously not like be the one having to dictate how the game goes. But when you see teams that just sit back and yeah, United, feel free to have the ball. Like I watched part of the Brighton game today, and there was an incident where like we won the ball high up the pitch, like in Brighton's half. And that ball ended up going back to my keeper guy, like because the person gets the ball and he has to start pointing, hey, you there. Like it's like they are thinking like they don't know what to do when they're in those situations. Like it's not second nature to them. And maybe that is down to the player's ability. Maybe we need better players to come in. I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is we need better profiles, like to fit what we are trying to do, right? And we don't have those guys. Like I see people making comments, snide comments saying, "Oh well, since they dropped Rashford, the PR merchant, in 10 games, we've only won 2 matches." Like, who does that help? When Rashford was playing, what did you see? Like, what difference did he make? Like, what is the guarantee that he's going to come into the team and do well? Like, you saw him play the 10 position, you saw him play this 9 position, right, under this Amorim's, like in this Amorim system, and he wasn't lighting the place up. Yes, he scored a couple of goals. So has Hoyland. So has Zexi. Are they great? The answer is no. So, what are we saying? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think, like you said, is the Man U fans just not accepting the reset button. And
Like, you have to
historically,
accept it. You must suffer.
both of our teams have sort of struggled from a history of expectations. So we were, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, prime Premier League, like it was Arsenal, Man U, like consistently dominating like the Prem. So our whole concept of fourth, fifth, you guys in 13th. I mean, we had like a stint where we did eighth or something like that. It just seems out of character. But again, that's my own frustration from Arsenal right now. Like we have started to demonstrate our previous patterns of quality of football, but we're not just again enforcing our dominance from a business perspective, like being able to go and get top targets and bring them into the club and say like, hey, like we're already good, but we still need to have like somebody really good come off the bench rather than we have to sell our best player before we bring somebody else to be also good. Like no, like Arsenal was a team where for like 3-4 seasons we had like the best striker back to back to back. Your Anelka, your
Bro,
Bergkamp, your Henry. Like come on, these are all legends
up
that
for
have
Van
come
Persie,
in.
bro, before we stole him.
Your guys like Kanu could not even make it onto the pitch. So Will Tord, like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be reminiscent about what was, but again, The
Fine,
concept of
fine.
only having one prime winger and one prime forward is ridiculous to me. Look at what Man City is doing. Look at what Liverpool is doing. And those guys haven't always been this good. They just understand that they need to continue to pile on to get to the point where opportunity is and we're able to capitalize. Liverpool this season. They're not the best team.
Permit me to butt in, right?
What?
So you see that thing you just said, like look at City, look at Liverpool. Like I genuinely feel like true Arsenal fans, that's who they actually compare themselves to. Like I see some comments from Arsenal fans on social media, and I'm just like, I hope this is not why your team is struggling the way they are struggling. Like I truly and genuinely hope Arsenal players are not as obsessed with United as some of your fans are, because like we really are not. We are not running the same race. And I see
No,
some
of course.
Arsenal fans making comments, and I'm like, bro,
No, bro. Like there are Arsenal fans that are just again wanting to have some
like
leg
fuck,
up on
carry your
something.
cross,
Like
man. Leave my team. My team is
no,
dragging with Ipswich.
again, I'm not someone who is looking to. I'm better than Tottenham. What does that do for me?
Exactly.
No, my whole take is that I literally was talking to someone. I was in another lifetime when I was a young chap, a young buck. I used to support Manchester United because that was the only team I knew. That was the team my brother supported. That was the team my older brother supported. My dad supported. I watched football for my own self, and I liked the way Arsenal played football under Arsene Wenger, and I became an Arsenal fan at the tender age of 10. Since I became an Arsenal fan, Arsenal has never won a trophy. That has never stopped me or made me feel like I need to
So you guys won FA
realign back
Cup.
to Man U.
You won FA
We
Cup.
have not won a trophy. There's only two
You won FA
trophies you
Cup
can
now.
win as a club: your league and Champions League. Everything else is um
Arteta will disagree, sure.
is charity shield
Arteta has
for
won
me.
3 trophies.
Whatever, whatever. My point is, this Arsenal team hasn't won any significant title since I've been a supporter, but I have continued to support and I've continued to champion the football that they play because that is what attracts me to Arsenal as a club. We're not playing great football, we're not winning. So what are we doing here? That's why I have to take a pause. I have to put a break on all my emotions and energy being spent on Arsenal because it's not given. It's not given, and the owners don't care. Um, the players care. The players care. That's the only thing that always gives me some type of hope. But the ownership, the higher ups, those guys up there in the rafters, just looking like this, like some chess piece business. Like no, those guys are the ones that I have gripe with. I have no issue with Arteta. He's the man. He's done great things for us, just like how Amari will do good things for you. But again, who is going to
Real.
support him?
Real. But yeah, uh
Speaking about
thanks guys.
breaks,
Thanks guys. Like we've really expressed ourselves, on this episode, like giving ourselves a lot of time to rant, we kept the other discussions quite, you know, I mean, okay, other than NFL. But yeah, like we've expressed ourselves. And um life has essentially been life and 9 to 5s uh have come to a point where we need to dial it back a bit and just go on a bit of
focus
a
on
break
that.
from
That's actually what pays the bills at this
red
point.
flags. Like we love bringing this content to you guys, and I mean from time to time when we can, if we can, we would, right? Like just record and drop something, and yeah, that's just essentially what it is. Like that's the
So I'll
whole
speak
purpose
regular
of this
English
episode.
for she.
Yes,
we're
please.
we're going to have to take a break, guys. We
Yeah,
need to focus on our careers and make sure that we are doing what we need to do to exist in this tough life we call adulthood.
brother.
Um, but we will be back soon, and we will definitely let you guys know. Have a nice little episode where we tell you we're back and we're going to be consistent with it, but we wanted to be honest and open and let you know that we're going to take a break, an indefinite break for now, and we'll keep you updated as to when we hope to return back and provide more insights on the
We hope
NFL,
you guys will miss us as much as we'll miss you guys too.
the NCAA, some NBA, and also the Premier League and wider soccer overall. But yeah, we've appreciated you guys following us, supporting us, subscribing and liking and giving us comments. And yeah, we'll continue to improve ourselves personally, and we'll deliver even better content when we're back. So appreciate you guys and thank you. Have a great rest of the year.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.
Peace.